Hello and welcome to Westside Wise Wednesdays, presented to you by Quest Communities and connected to you by AT&T, where we are giving you the news that you can use with the information that you cannot refuse. Let's get into it.
We are back. I am your co-host, Leonard Adams, with
Mr. John Ahmann and Ebony Ford.
All righty. So we are back, John. We left off with a great segue into your Home on the West Side initiatives. I know there are plenty other initiatives and pillars that the Westside Future Fund offers. You can take this time to just toot your horn a little bit. What's going on? What other initiatives that Westside Future Fund have in the forefront?
Yeah, what we broadly speaking, we champion. A lot of other folks like Quest and many others are doing a lot of work in different areas, but we kind of champion for what we call impact strategies.
Yes.
So, championing mixed income community, championing health and wellness.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Championing cradle to career education.
Yes.
And championing public safety. And different organizations are have deep engagements in those areas.
Yeah.
But the areas where we've been out there, especially raising resources, is we had an early partnership to launch when Hollis reopened. It had been for those that are been about the West Side a bit. No, it used to be Kennedy Middle School.
Yes.
Had closed.
Yep.
And at the time Bethune was operating, but then Bethune was closed, and all the children were zoned to reopen Hollis,
Yes.
and thanks to corporate support that included AT&T, and at the time we launched, especially at the time SunTrust, now Truist, and Coca-Cola Company, to really launch the Hollis Innovation Academy.
Yes.
And raising money to support extra teachers and wraparound services in the classroom, and then extending that support to the Booker T. Washington cluster.
Booker T.
You
better get it right. They're listening.
Yes.
The Booker T. Washington cluster.
Yes.
And so, and actually some of our key board leadership, Dr. Beverly Tatum, who is the former president of Spelman, actually Sylvia Russell,
Yes.
and another, Chantel Herber, are serve on the local governance teams,
Yep.
and are very involved working with the principals.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another area we've been out there, championing for raising resources is to support the schools in the Booker T. Washington cluster.
And that's very important because, of course, we know that financial contributions are extremely important, and I never shy away from that, okay? We need money to continue to offer the services that we offer in this neighborhood. But, of course, that is the financial contributions are in addition to the time and talent that is needed as well. So these partnerships are very, very, very important. So I know that, like, from a health standpoint, you guys have a day of service at Truly Living Well, and you've had some COVID support initiatives in place.
Yeah. No, the other thing we've done both those, is we have a lot of the corporations, like AT&T being an example, their employees, want to help in neighborhoods like are on the West Side. And so offering volunteer programs for those corporations to have their employees engage in, volunteer days. Absolutely. AT&T has been one of our most active, and one of the volunteer days, actually, I remember two in particular. One, the first time I really was AT&T did a volunteer day to help when Brown Middle School was opening. Now the Herman J. Russell Academy. But they were helping get all the classrooms ready to go, and I went, and I remember seeing a sea of blue, literally hundreds of folks from AT&T there for the day to help the school get off to a great start. And then they did another one at Truly Living Well, which is the city of Atlanta's largest working farm over in Ashview Heights. Did a volunteer day, there as well. But I know that they have been, terrific about working with the school principals.
Absolutely.
And also too, because part of what AT&T, especially for the older students, have modeled, because the Washington cluster now, kudos to all the leadership that got this done, is now STEM certified.
Yes.
And part
Awesome.
of that is exposing children on the West Side to careers they may not have otherwise imagined. So one of the things that AT&T employee groups did was to really showcase for the kids the kind of work they might be able to do in their future.
And it's funny that you say a sea of blue, because I remember a couple of years ago I came outside my house and it was literally a sea of all these blue T-shirts and hats and everything. And they were doing mailbox planters. And it's like, so, AT&T does, and a lot of other organizations as well do these very high level lots of money, big investments in the community. Of course, we love those as well. But then they actually come down, boots on the ground, and walk the neighborhoods. Shake the hands of the neighbors that actually live in there and put their literal hands in the dirt and really show us their presence and have their presence felt in the neighborhoods as well. So I can definitely.
Well, we last engaged them on their at Promise.
Absolutely.
At Promise Center,
Okay.
John, what they were.
With the food.
With the digital lab over at the
AT&T
at Promise
Connected Center.
AT&T Connected Center over at the new at Promise off of Campbellton Road. Was it Campbellton
Yes,
Road?
Southwest of
And also over in the Pittsburgh community. So AT&T is on the ground literally and under the ground with
Oh my gosh, that's true.
what I see is the trucks outside my window
Yes, every day
and
off.
those guys underground putting in that fiber.
Yeah, no, and I could say the home I now have in Vine City, I went via the website, hook up AT&T fiber, so I have fiber right into my house, which is cool.
Nice.
But I also appreciate AT&T because when we were opening up our multifamilies back to supporting the children, we want to make sure that the kids in our multifamilies had access to free Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right, but to have access to the Wi-Fi, you got to have the high speed coming right in. And AT&T accelerated the build out of some of their fiber right to our new multifamilies,
And which goes into educational opportunities.
Right.
And it actually goes, like if you think about affordable housing, I mean, if a family doesn't have to worry about their internet, I mean, they have more money to put towards,
That's right.
healthier
That's right.
food or,
That's right.
a better living situation. I mean, it just really all plays together.
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
honest.
and during COVID, we were asked to use our home as everything.
Yes.
It was our hospital, it was our
Right.
school,
Doctor's office.
it was our it was our
our
workplace.
everything.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe when I heard, "Don't come to the hospital if you're sick. Stay home."
Right.
And I'm
Mind-blowing,
thinking,
right?
"Shucks,
I don't
that
have
is
anybody at my house to
right.
help me
Oh
when
my
I'm
gosh,
sick.
right?
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
Any fun topics we can jump into with John? I mean, he talked about his
John has
home
always
on the
lots of
west
fun.
side and how he has fiber. Just thinking, to give our listeners
That side
the
of it.
sense of community. This is a CEO of a large
Yes.
investment company
Yes.
that has some leadership on the west side that
lots.
they're responsible for, right? But you also have the neighbor John that you would see outside jogging down
That's
the
the
street.
first time I ever seen
Right,
John. I
yeah.
said, I knew him from the summits, right? And I
Yeah.
saw somebody jogging down my street.
Yes.
And I said, is that John?
Is that
I didn't
John
know he
Ahmann?
lived over here.
Yes.
So he snuck
You had a
into
lot
the
of time to
neighborhood.
figure out if it was me based on my speed of
I
jogging.
well,
Yes.
you get
Oh,
down
yeah.
from what
Not
I can
exactly.
see. Yeah, you're getting down.
We knew it was you,
And you
John.
know what's so crazy? People maybe years ago, I don't know, may not have felt comfortable. But now I see
yeah.
people walking their dogs and their
yes,
babies. And I'm like, you know
definitely.
what? So that's another initiative that Westside Future Fund does too, to make this neighborhood healthier,
Yeah.
safer, and more secure for us. And, they have the APD recruit housing in English Avenue that
Yeah.
opened up about a couple of years ago. And then we also have the Atlanta Police Department housing incentives in the city as well that I know Westside Future Fund has been definitely partnered with. So, people didn't feel comfortable doing that. You should
right.
be able to work out
That's
and jog
right.
in your own neighborhood,
That's
right?
right.
So, yeah, that was
If
excellent
work
to
play,
see.
like you said.
Absolutely.
Got to do it.
Yeah, got to. And so, Mr. Ahmann, I appreciate you coming in today. We have had an awesome conversation, and
Yes.
I don't have any more material for you. You got any questions for us? Anything you want to say?
We're rolling up in the drum roll.
Yes,
Drum
wrap it
roll,
up
where
with a
is it?
drum roll. We have
get a drum roll
Westside
on here.
Future Fund. We have Quest Communities, and we have Connected by AT&T. Look at those three-way partnerships.
Absolutely, y'all come on back and see us. Y'all
No,
know
thanks
we
for
always bring you on.
having me today and talk a little bit about the work. And
Absolutely.
as y'all are very grateful for the support of AT&T and the work on the West Side. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all. Come on back and see us. Hi, it's Ebony Ford, host of Westside Wise. Access to affordable, reliable, high-speed internet is more important than ever. That's why AT&T is furthering its efforts to help bridge the digital divide by offering new solutions that help households here in Atlanta and beyond stay connected to work, education, healthcare, and more. AT&T has worked to reduce barriers to the cost of home internet service by combining access from AT&T, which provides low-cost internet service for eligible households, with the Federal Affordable Connectivity Program benefit. Eligible households can get free home internet service. I discovered access from AT&T at a time when I had no car, no job, no money, no internet. It was the segue for me to be able to apply for benefits, look for childcare programs, look for jobs, and attend training. It literally was my foundation to be able to get back on my feet. And it all started with access from AT&T. Terms and restrictions apply. Speeds up to 100 megabits per second where available. Learn more at att.com/internet/access.